looks you got in the first half? I guess what did you see from that end that allowed them to kind of shift?
I thought their length in the paint bothered us. It took away some of our cutting. I thought early we curled, we got in there, we made some plays, we sprayed it out, and had some really good looks. Obviously, we got into a really good rhythm late in the half, and second half, we couldn't get those same looks. And I thought we had some good looks early, but listen, that team's playing as well as any in the country right now. That's 11 in a row, I think, for them. Give Illinois credit. They're playing really good basketball right now. To me, the game came down to our inability to finish off possessions. And, they were really controlling tempo. The play of the game is when Ivicic hit the ball out. It was the volleyball spike out to Davis, hit the three. I think we cut it to 1 at that point, and then they get it to 4. We miss a 3, and then Merkovich gets a 2 that forced into the timeout. And then I thought they controlled tempo pretty much the rest of the way. And, again, a lot of that was offensive rebounds, having to defend an extra 15 seconds after they got it. And then, listen, Wagler's playing as a first-team All-American right now. They're just getting the ball in his hands and letting him go to work and ISO, and they've got shooting all around him. So, I don't think it had anything to do with our effort. I thought our guys played hard. I thought we did a really good job on the glass in the first half, but I just didn't quite see that same fire, passion going after the ball that we had in the first.
What do you think allowed Wagler to get going in the second?
Well, he's been doing it all year. I mean, he finds a way to get to the rim. He gets to the line. He got to the line 12 times. I thought, listen, Pryce had it going for us. They got to let Pryce run. He's getting held. He's getting grabbed. Our offense, freedom of movement. I mean, that's got to be enforced. So I thought Pryce with his movement. We run I think a pretty aesthetically pleasing offense. But when you're being held, you can't run it. And so we're going to continue to try to do it and cut and with force and do everything we can. To get these guys open and free them up. But it's tough at times when you're out there. And listen, I give Rink a lot of credit for going out there and battling, being able to play 25 minutes. He played like he was in the ER till 3 in the morning. I mean, he's going to get his timing back. He's going to get his win back. But, it was tough for him, but he battled. He battled his ass off, and he'll get it going again. There's no doubt in my mind.
Coach, you just played back-to-back games against top 10 teams in the Big Ten. Is the league as good now as it's been during your time at Nebraska?
Well, it's been pretty good since I've been here. I mean, that first year, I thought, besides us, the other, however many teams it was at that time, 14, the other 13 teams were pretty darn good. So, yes, to answer your question, when you look at what Michigan and their talent, Michigan State, Purdue, Illinois is as hot as anybody right now. Wisconsin is on fire. Iowa's playing great. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are playing really good basketball right now. USC, UCLA, I mean, Indiana's got it going. So, yes, I think the league is in a really good place, and top to bottom, you got to be ready to go every time you step on the floor.
This is the second game in a row. There's a wide disparity in free throws. Obviously, when you shoot threes, you're not going to get to the line as much. So when you see another team getting those easier shots, how do you keep your team mentally checked in?
Yeah, you just got to keep battling. I did think we fouled too much. I did think we grabbed. But like I said, I mean, to us, we really try to flow. It's a free-flowing offense. And, again, when I've said what I need to say on that. But, we got to keep battling. We got to keep fighting.
Second half, you weren't quite as a team. You guys weren't quite as hot from three. Do you think that was more looks or execution?
Maybe a little bit of both. They switched some things up defensively, and I don't know. We just couldn't knock them down. We got the open ones, and that made the semi-contested ones even tougher. So it was a little bit of everything.
Right, what's top of mind for you guys with the big week by right now playing again until Saturday?
Yeah, it comes at a good time for us to get our guys that have been a little bit banged up to get them right. We're actually going to come in and watch film tomorrow and get some shooting and skill work, and then we're going to take Tuesday off, and then they'll give us 3 days to prepare for Rutgers on Saturday. But this is a Rutgers team that's playing really good. They lose on the road last night by 3 to USC. They had the game against Michigan State. They had a 15-point lead in the second half. That's hard to do, obviously, against Michigan State. So this team's playing really well, and they're always tough and physical, especially in the rack. So we need to get right, get better, this week, have a good week of toughness in our practices, Tuesday's an important day for our guys to get in the tubs and get recovered, and have a really good 3 days heading into the weekend.
From a player standpoint, what coach is talking about, how do you not let 2 losses to top 10 opponents kind of derail all that you've built up right now? I guess what's the key from a player standpoint of these next weekends?
Yeah, obviously the back-to-back losses. We just got to look at the film tomorrow and learn from it and keep our head high and flush it as we get ready for Rutgers.
Either one of you guys, I mean, just how good was it to see Braden come back out and shoot it with such confidence and have that big of a game?
Yeah, it's great. It's great having Braden, back out there healthy and feeling good. He was limping a little bit at the end of practice. That's why we listed him as questionable today. He felt pretty good in the shoot around. We anticipated him playing, but he was limping a little bit at the end of practice. But he's a tough kid. Obviously, that thing when he sprained it was a 14. Everybody thought it was gonna be 2 to 4 weeks, and here he is, whatever it is, 9 days out, back on the floor, out there fighting, battling, swinging. So I give Braden a lot of credit for going out there and playing the way he did and fighting the way he did that first game back.
Pryce, just Cale Jacobson's role with Rink being maybe more limited. How have you seen him and his impact just on the game lately in his last few?
Yeah, he always stays so steady and really heady guard. He takes care of it really well, finds shooters in transition, and he's a very, very skilled guy, very smart player. Really fun playing with him, and we know what he can do, and he's coming in providing some really good minutes. So super proud of him, and got to keep going.
You heard of Illinois from 3 in the first half, but you ended up taking 10 more threes than you did in the game in Champaign. Is that a function of what you guys weren't doing, more what they were doing protecting the rim?
Well, they protect the rim so well, and even I thought we had a couple in there, and all of a sudden they come out of nowhere to block the shot. We had a couple we rushed where we didn't play off 2 feet. That's what I thought we did a really good job of in Champaign. Is when we got into the paint, we played off 2 feet, and then we either sprayed it out or finished at the basket. Tonight we didn't do as good a job of that. I thought again, we talked about the length. Ivasic coming off the bench is second in the league in blocks behind Mara, and they're so long. And again, when you're not hitting the shots like we're in the second half, I think we were 5 for 24 inside the arc. It's hard to win a game when you do that. You make 15 threes, you should win that game. But their length bothered us in the paint, and that's the reason they went away with the win.
Outside of the health stuff that Rink is going through, is there anything as players around him you guys can do to help him just get in rhythm? You guys quicker over the course of the game?
Yeah, obviously that stuff comes in practice, and but just keeping him confident, being there for him as he's kind of getting back in the swing of things is big, and I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be back and stronger than ever.
Nice.